Republican lawmakers in Wisconsin want to change state law to allow candidates to remove their names from the ballot. This would address an issue that came up after Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wanted to get off the presidential ballot last year but could not. Kennedy wanted to be removed from Wisconsin ballots after dropping his independent bid and endorsing Republican Donald Trump. A bill circulated today in the legislature that would allow candidates to ask to be removed.